December 1st, 2020. I'd like to welcome you to a meeting of the Appointments Committee. Councilors present this evening are Councilors Walsh, Green, Van Hazinga, and Fleming, and myself, Councilor Krishmarik. We have 4 items before us this evening. The first appointment is a reappointment, and that is Executive Director of Community Development, term to expire November 17th, 2023, of Mr. Tom Skorofsky, who is here with us this evening. And we also have Mayor DiNatale. Mayor, did you want to, it looks like he might be frozen there. I was going to ask the mayor if he wanted to introduce Tom, but I will say I don't think he requires any introduction. And for those who are just watching the Public Safety Committee meeting and the incredibly in-depth and thorough analysis of the parking study, I think that really speaks for itself. That said, it looks like we have the mayor back. Mayor, before we take up the appointment and flip the floor to Tom, is there anything you'd like to add?
Would I be speaking individually, each individual? Well, right now
we have Tom Skorofsky and his appointment before us.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, Council President. The presentation just at the public safety meeting. That's just a small sample of what Mr. Skorofsky is involved in the city. Everything Fitchburg goes through that office and his staff and he himself. There's no one that has a greater command for the projects that are in process, in the pipeline, being completed than Tom Skorofsky. I couldn't speak more glowingly about his performance. He is not just the executive director of community development. He's a counsel to me as well, and a real integral part of my city team. So I hope you will resoundingly approve him for reappointment. Thank you.
With that, Tom, anything you'd like to add? No pressure if you don't.
I appreciate the kind words, Mayor, and happy to take any questions. You know, it's been an honor to be in this position. You know, I think starting 3 years ago, my first foray into municipal government, and I don't think I could ever look back. It's been really impactful personally, professionally. I've got a really incredible team that I work with in the Department of Community Development and Planning. I've got great colleagues here on the council and the planning board and the Conservation Commission and all the other municipal bodies that I serve. It's been an honor, and hopefully I'll have a chance to work with you all again for the next 3 years.
Tom, I'll just add quite simply, you're amazing at what you do, and we are a very lucky city to have someone of your talents and expertise, and just incredibly grateful that you are willing to serve this city, and that you'll be here for another 3 years to continue serving the residents and businesses of our city. So thank you. With that, I have 3 councilors looking to speak. I have Councilor Van Hazinga.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So Tom, I had to look it up, and it was only 5 years ago that we first met at the Community Leadership Institute in Louisville, Kentucky. It seems like a lifetime ago. There's been so much that has gone on since then. But you are a tremendous asset to the city with your professionalism, your eloquence, and your long-term vision for Fitchburg. And I'm very excited that you'll be here for at least another 3 years. Thank you.
Next, we have Councilor Green.
I remember that meeting 3 years ago. Yikes. So I am so happy that that we afforded you the opportunity to prove yourself over and over and over again, not only to counselors, but to this community. And I will say wholeheartedly that I do appreciate every opportunity to be able to come in and speak with you on matters that don't even have anything to do with community development, but it all really does have everything to do with community development. So I appreciate always the time that you take for us as individual counselors, us as groups, and then more importantly for the outward face of community development to our residents, who have the utmost respect for who you are and what you do. And I just want to say that I appreciate everything that you do, always moving our community forward and always with the best intention and always with such caring and concern on how you bring items before us. So I am overwhelmingly, exuberantly a yes to your reappointment, and I look forward to spending at least the next 3 years with you. It's almost like a marriage.
I'm just going to move on to our next speaker, Councilor Walsh.
Oh, thanks a lot. I'm going to echo the sentiments of the people who have spoken before me. I have to say, I have no idea how you handle everything that you do in the accomplished way that you do it. You take something that's very complicated and then you boil it down for the rest of us and make it seem very straightforward and very simple. So I just want to say I really appreciate all that you've done in the past, and I'm thrilled that you're going to continue to do that. And you know, as long as we can have you, we're going to keep you. So thank you.
With that, I have a motion. Councilor Fleming, is a motion to approve, correct?
Yes.
And a second from Councilor Van Huizenga. Speaking on the motion, we'll take this by roll call vote. Councilor Van Huizenga.
Yes.
Councilor Green.
Yes.
Councilor Walsh.
An emphatic yes.
Councilor Fleming.
Absolutely.
And I am a yet another emphatic yes. Congratulations, 5-0, motion carries. Thank you again, Tom,
Thank you.
and will we see you in the next meeting? Do you have anything?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yes, you got it.
Thank you. Next we have Councilor Green. I know you were looking to recuse yourself from the next 3 reappointments, is that correct?
Yes, and I would just like to let the public know that the reason that I will be recusing myself, one for Megan Donahue, is that another role that I serve in the city is president of the Historical Society, where we have where Megan is a member, and then we've also brought her forth to serve on our historic commission. So I just don't want there to ever be impropriety or anything to question about motives or anything. Same to be said for Miss Joan Goodwin. Joan is a member of my Lions Club, which I preside over, and also sit on Council on Aging with her. So again, I don't want there to be impropriety. And last but certainly not least, Susan Davis as the HR director is that Brian employed by the DPW and sits on the negotiating team for contracts. So it's felt best that I just recuse myself, and then there's no question moving forward. So with that, I will leave the meeting and I will join all of you back for council.
Thank you, Councilor Green. All right, so next we will take up the reappointments. And Councilor, I'm going to be asking for a motion to amend this. So we'll bring Susan Davis and her reappointment as Director of Human Resources. Councilors, I'm going to ask for an amendment on 2 points. One, this correctly on the agenda states that it is an Executive Director. Her title is Director of Human Resources. And that term was just corrected to be in line with City Code. The term should expire on December 31st, 2022. So I'd ask for, I have a motion and a second to amend to reflect Director of Human Resources as the title and a term to expire December 31st, 2022. We'll do the amendment by roll call vote. Councilor Van Huizenga.
Yes.
Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Councilor Fleming.
Yes.
and I am a yes. It is before you as amended. And with that, Mayor, I would like, if you'd like to introduce the next reappointment.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm absolutely thrilled to recommend once again Susan Davis for reappointment as Director of Human Resources. Susan Davis has brought the HR department into the 21st century, hiring, transitioning out employee issues. And each one of these categories I'm going to talk about has several subsets to it and what's involved. Very, very hard-working individual. She's developed updated policies and procedures, none the least of which, much in the forefront today, is revised and updated our affirmative action plan, formulation of a diversity and inclusion advisory committee, creation and distribution of employee diversity and inclusion webpage on city website, annual diversity and inclusion online employee trainings, onboarding. She streamlined. Again, I say she does. She also has a staff person, Stephanie Santiago, who is absolutely another diamond in the rough. Couldn't be happier with her performance. She is just a critical part of that shop and the work that they put out there. Onboarding, streamlined the onboarding process across all departments. Training, she's coordinated and conducted 9 training events for department heads, managers, non-management, drug and alcohol awareness, customer service and excellence, preventing workplace harassment. She also is involved in post-COVID trainings that will be held, diversity, inclusion, workers' comp, FMLA, progressive discipline, union activity, involved in every union negotiation, successfully negotiated 11 union contracts, saving the city approximately $33,000 in labor and attorneys' fees. 6 union contracts, which will be negotiated coming up in 21. Workers' compensation and the Family Leave Act. She's also done a great upgrading of that process as well. Administered in the FMLA, managed 89 cases since mid-August of 2018. She also is a key member of my COVID management team that meets. We've ramped up our meetings, unfortunately, with the spike, but she's been with us along with department heads such as the chief of police, chief of the fire department, certainly the health director, my chief of staff, right from the beginning. And she's an integral part of that management team. So, you know, I could continue to bore you and go into even more detail because there's a lot of what she does that I haven't even touched on. So again, an exceptionally hardworking individual, very bright, very dedicated, loves the city of Fitchburg. And again, I hope we have a unreserved, unanimous decision to reappoint her. Thank you.
And with that, I'd like to welcome Susan Davis, who's joining us. Susan, anything further you'd like to add or state before the committee takes your reappointment up? Susan, are you with us?
Hang on.
All right.
You there?
I am, and I don't know why it's not unmuting.
So we can hear you. We can ask you to start your video and ask you to unmute here and see if that'll help. All right, we can hear you now, I believe.
I don't know why my camera, it says it's on. I apologize. I'm not really quite certain why.
No problem. Don't worry about it. We can work by just audio. And so with that, anything additional you would like to add, Susan?
Yes, you know what? I just wanted to say, certainly, thank you certainly to the city council as well as to Mayor DiNatale just for this opportunity, to be reappointed to a job that I love and I find unbelievably rewarding. His continued support of me and my office certainly supports our mission to really firmly demonstrate, which has been needed to really demonstrate that human resources is a necessary and very strategic business partner within the city. And there aren't too many activities or things that go on that somehow my office doesn't touch. And I'm very proud to be involved to the degree that, that we have been. And I definitely just want to, thank everybody again for the opportunity. It's been an exciting and challenging 3 years. And certainly COVID has made this more of a challenge, like for everybody, many long nights, weekends, and that whole, with the health crisis that it's been. But I greatly appreciate, again, the council's support as well as the mayor's. Without his leadership and guidance, this would be a pretty difficult undertaking. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I look forward to the opportunity to serve another, well, I guess 2 years. And apologies for the date on the expiration.
No need to apologize. It was just a clerical mishap there, and so I want to first start by, I've had the opportunity to serve on a number of different search committees with you for our city clerk most recently, and appreciate the 3 years of service that you have given to this city. And I know the mayor truly values the work that you do. And I'll just add one thing, Susan. 3 years ago, when you were before us for appointment the first time, I had really spoken kind of passionately about the desire for us to look at how best to diversify our city's workforce and to make our city across all departments more reflective and representative of the population that we are and serve as a city. And I know this is not this is not one of those low-hanging fruit items. It is difficult. It is not something that can be implemented overnight, but it's something that is, I believe, of great and dire importance to our city. And I think we still have a lot of work to do in that area. And so while I don't feel we've necessarily made all of the steps that we can, I'm optimistic too, though, that Councillor Walsh and I put forward a petition, and it's coming through in an ordinance form through the Legislative Affairs Committee, I believe next week, to really talk about diversity and inclusion and economic empowerment. And I know that you and the mayor are committed to doing this, and excited to have your participation alongside the Human Rights Commission and the City Council in helping to accomplish some of these goals. And so I felt I'd be remiss if I didn't call specific attention to that initiative, and look forward to working with you and others to accomplish a meaningful diversity and inclusion update for our city. So with that, I have a motion made by Councillor. Motion made by Councillor Fleming and a second by Councillor Walsh to approve. Speaking on the motion, Councillor Walsh, was that?
Yes.
Speaking on the motion, Walsh.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to say that I have worked with Susan Davis on a couple of search committees, and I just want to say that she's always available. If you call her, she calls you right back, or she spends an inordinate amount of time with you to answer all of your questions. So I do appreciate that, and I will be voting yes.
I have a motion and second. We'll do this by roll call vote. Councillor Fleming.
Yes.
Councillor Walsh.
Yes.
Councillor Van Hazinga.
Yes.
And I am a yes. It is 4-0, unanimous, to reappoint Susan Davis as Director of Human Resources, term to expire December 31st, 2022. Congratulations.
Great.
Thank you for your service, and look forward to working with you over the next 2 years.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next, we have Executive Director of the Council on Aging, term to expire November 17th, 2023, of Ms. Joan Goodwin. And with that, I'd like to welcome Mayor DiNatale back to introduce his next reappointment.
Thank you, Mr. President. We all know Joan and all the years that she's dedicated to the city of Fitchburg. Some of her accomplishments in the last 3 years, noteworthy, certainly. 40 new registrations of seniors, 400, excuse me, I said 40, 400. 16 new life enrichment programs offered at the senior center. Again, this all has to have a sort of an asterisk next to it because of COVID. Those things aren't really going on right now, but Mass Association for the Blind weekly meetings, started the Fitchburg History Series, the annual flu clinics, wellness fairs, and blood drives. Also, any and all community wellness fairs offered here in the city. Been responsible for hall rental applications and all the events pre-COVID, of course. Let's hope we can get back to that and make Joan even more busier than she normally is. So she hosted 18 play and stay dinners with the Fitchburg Lions Club. Meat, bread, and pastry. That's a big hit in the city, is the meat, bread, and pastry days. And that's on, when is that? Joan, you're out there, right? Is that like twice a
Yes.
week or like that?
Twice a week.
Right. Okay. Annual farmers market coupons, buildings and grounds. She's been responsible for that, for our beautiful senior center and keeping that building. Maybe we brought some relief for you this week, Joan, with Russell Karlstad starting as the facilities director. He's going to take a lot of that
Great.
pressure off of you. Yep. Part of that, projects included installing 3 compressors on the roof repairs, painting of bathrooms, O'Neill Hall, redecorated the cadre, new carpeting in the library, new fire retardant curtains. We go on and on. The building looks great. Let's hope we can become post-COVID and get back to using that glorious building the way it was intended. So again, unreserved recommendation, and I hope that you will also unanimously approve Joan Goodwin to continue as the Executive Director of the Council on Aging. Thank you.
Joan, anything you'd like to add?
I have to say, I've been with the Senior Center 16 years, and it's a job I love. I've been passionate about the seniors. I'm passionate about the city of Fitchburg, as you know, with the Fitchburg History programs. Certainly, this past year with COVID has been a challenge for us. But I will say that we have been operational every single day, and we have done an awful lot. Just in the last, I'd say 6 months, we've had 48 grab and go events, keeping us in contact with our seniors, and we look forward to doing even more. For the month of December, for example, we have over 500 participants who have signed up for grab and go events for the month of December. So, you know, just to let you know that we are really working full steam ahead during COVID. And I look forward in the next 3 years and continuing to bring Fitchburg, the Fitchburg Senior Center forward with new programs and upcoming events. So it's been a challenge, but we have been doing it. So thank you.
First, we have Councilor Van Haasingen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I've been lucky enough to know Mrs. Goodwin for most of my life, and I think the seniors in Fitchburg could not ask for a finer advocate and more responsible director of the Council on Aging and Senior Center. And I think this is particularly evident over the last 9 months and the challenges that we've experienced, and she's continued to have effective services and resources available to them. And I think I'm very grateful for all that you've done for the city and our seniors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy.
Joan, I'll just reiterate that same gratitude for the work that you have continued to do through 16 years with our senior and aging populations in Fitchburg and beyond. You've done incredible work, and I know the challenges have continued to pile on during COVID, and you've risen to the challenge every step of the way to help meet those needs in our community and with our elders and our seniors. And I appreciate everything that you do, and I know that our community certainly does. So
Thank you very much.
And keep up the good work.
Thank you.
With that, I have a motion made by Councilor Walsh and a second by Councilor Van Haasingen to approve. We'll do this by roll call vote. Councilor Van Haasingen?
Yes.
Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
Councilor Fleming?
Yes, but I thought I initially made the motion, but that's okay.
I apologize. You did, and then Counselor Van Huizinga seconded the motion. And I am an enthusiastic yes. It is unanimous. Motion carries. Congratulations, Joan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And last, before us is this evening is a new appointment for the member of the Historical Commission, term to expire November 1st, 2023. Ms. Megan P. Donahue. Megan is with us this evening and certainly no stranger to this body. Mayor, any introduction you'd like to give? Nope,
I've never heard of her. Who is that? Megan. No, you know, it's always some can be sometimes difficult. Redevelopment Authority, city, where our lines cross, where they intertwine, so to speak. But you make it a lot easier, and I'm so thankful that you're in that position and being moved on to the Historical Commission. Again, I think we're certainly well served as a community that you are willing to provide your services there, and I'm sure they'll benefit greatly from it. Congratulations, good luck. And I'm assuming that the council, the appointments committee is going to approve you, so congratulations.
Megan, anything further to add?
Well, I just want to say thank you very much. And I just want to say I came to Fitchburg because I saw that, actually I came 2 years ago last week. I came because I saw progress happening, but I also studied preservation planning in graduate school, and this is right up my alley, and I'm really excited to take part in this. And the history of Fitchburg really means a lot to me, as does the progress. So this is both my day job and this would go great. It would be great for me. So thank you.
Well, thank you for your willingness to serve our city and you know, to both give and volunteer your time on top of your position, and I think it dovetails beautifully with your role. And so thank you again for all you do for the city of Fitchburg. And with that, I have multiple motions to accept made by Councilor Walsh and Fleming, and multiple seconds given by Councilor Van Huizinga. So I think we've covered our bases. Do this by roll call vote. Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'll get through the council.
Councilor Fleming.
Yeah.
Councilor Fleming, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yes.
All right. Councilor Van Huizinga.
Background noise.
Yes.
I muted Susan Davis. I think we were getting some background phone conversation. And Councilor Van Huizinga.
Yes.
I am also a yes. It is 4-0. Congratulations. Thank you again, Megan. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn, councilors.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion and second to adjourn. I'll do this by unanimous consent unless there is any objection. Seeing no objections, we are adjourned, and we will begin the city council meeting momentarily.